Hello, and welcome back to the SOPRANO podcast. Oh, hello, I am your host, and my name is Heidi, and it is Thursday, my dudes. No, it has been quite a long day. So this podcast is going to be rather short, and it's about 7 o'clock at night when I'm recording this. I have had a very long and fruitful day of classes and teaching. I had 3 students today, all at varying times. One was an hour, one was 45 minutes, one was a 30-minute lesson. And I also had 2 classes. One of them was my coaching, so I was doing a lot of singing today, doing a lot of talking. So I'm going to keep it kind of light here on the podcast, although I can feel my voice kind of getting back into shape, if that makes any sense. Getting a little bit stronger by the day, which is a good sign. I always get worried at the beginning of the semester. Like, I try and give myself at least, 2 weeks before of, really singing and making some sounds, but we all know that that's not necessarily the easiest thing to get yourself to do all of the time, so I try and take it really easy the first couple of weeks, as easy as I can, while still doing all the things that I need to do. So that's where we're at. I also have a beverage. You can probably hear the ice cubes. You hear that? This is not probably the best beverage I should be having right now, but I needed a beverage. Probably should be drinking a glass of tea, but here I am. I'll leave that up to your imagination. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys today about something that is really difficult for me at times. And that thing is just sometimes making the right choice for myself in the moment. And today, that right choice was, instead of plopping down on the couch and just feeling exhausted during these lessons and feeling the Zoom fatigue and blah blah blah, I really forced myself to get my coat on, get my boots on, put on a scarf, put on my headphones, and go for a walk. And I listened to some of my rep, and I was out in the world. And sometimes that's just an unbelievable thought to me, to actually make the right choice and make a productive, healthy choice for myself. I don't necessarily know why, but I think sometimes I'm probably looking for comfort over productivity, or I'm looking for relief over success, if that makes any sense. But I always feel better after I choose the productive choice, if that makes any sense. And I think that other people will as well, so I encourage you to try and explore that for yourself. I don't know what it necessarily would look like for everyone individually, but for me, sometimes it looks like going for a walk instead of scrolling on my phone while I have a half-hour break. And sometimes I think of it like eating vegetables instead of eating takeout, or eating vegetables instead of something that is a little bit not so good for you. The vegetables are not going to be easy to start eating, but then once you start eating them, you're like, yeah, this is whatever, it's fine, I'm not having a great time, but I'm going to be happy later. And then later you are. So that's kind of something that I wanted to share today. And if you take anything from that, good. But if you don't, things are falling. I don't know what to tell you people. Alright, this is honestly becoming one of my favorite parts of the day, these minute sketches of composers. Yesterday we had Schubert, and I am so excited. Yes! We have Johann Strauss coming up next. Yes. Okay, so Johann Strauss, father and son, the Waltz Kings, are their subtitles. So, father, born 1804, died 1849. Son, born 1825, died 1899. Alrighty. So here we go. We're going to jump right into it. The Strauss boys. What the Wrights are to aeroplanes, the Strausses are to the waltz. It is difficult to conceive a world empty of waltzes, but so it was before Johann Strauss, the elder, came to it with the 19th century. 3/4 time there had been but real waltz music, languishing, swirling, enticing, in which the very soul might be lost in an ecstasy of... Ecstasy? Ecstasy? Wow, I can really speak English, believe me. An ecstasy of motion. This it remained, strangely enough, for the Victorian era to develop. The elder Strauss, whom Wagner dubbed the demon of the folk spirit, like the pied piper of Hamelin, enticed his fellow Austrians up the Danube to follow him about from tavern to tavern, from city to city, to dance to his fiddling. Later, his wanderings took him all over Europe, where his success was crowned simultaneously with the coronation of Victoria. Sensing that his sons, Johann, Joseph, and Eduard, it's literally spelled Edouard, Eduard, might outstrip his fame, he tried to divert them into banking and similar unmusical pursuits, but they had inherited too much of his own genius for joy. The battle of Strauss versus Strauss, of father against sons, of the title of the Waltz King, rent the musical world for many years. Beginning when the firstborn and namesake placarded Vienna with notices that he would conduct an orchestra to play his father's compositions and his own, and the world would then decide who was the greater, it ended in a reconciliation only a few years before the elder's death. Whatever may have been the opinion of their contemporaries, time pronounced its own verdict for the compositions which came to mind immediately when the name of Strauss is mentioned: the Blue Danube, Wiener Blut, Kunsterleben, and Die Fledermaus, and Eine Nacht in Venedig were all the products of the younger Johann. 400 waltzes, countless light operas, engagements to conduct in all the capitals of Europe, and an orchestra of his own in Vienna made his full and rich existence. On Independence Day in 1872, he conducted a monster chorus of 1,000 voices with 100 assistant conductors at Gilmore's International Peace Jubilee in Boston. Although he was paid lavishly for his one appearance and was offered every inducement to tour the country, he considered his tour de force sufficient for the United States and returned to his less demanding Europe to live his 70 and more, a jubilant, gay spirit to the end. Dang, okay, father-son rivalry. Also, okay, 1,000 part chorus, 1,000 person chorus. You know, I feel like I am really learning a lot every day from these little sketches. There's nothing like a little story, you know? Even though our girls, Eva and Helen, who, you know, we love Eva and Helen, but sometimes they give us a very sassy version of the truth. And I don't know necessarily what to believe. I'm going to have to cross-check some sources here, but yeah, I love these little sketches, and I have to warn you, though, I did look ahead, and since this book was written in the 30s, there's a couple entries that I'm probably going to skip, because there's just some terminology that's super out of date, and I don't want to read it. You know, I don't want to bring any attention to that. There's a couple of we'll get to it when we get to it. It's not for a couple more little chapters here, but yeah, you guys, I'm like yawning already. It's like 7:30. Sorry, you're probably gonna yawn. Sorry. It means you're not a psychopath if you yawn when other people yawn, so there you go. You're welcome. Oh my god. This is excellent. I'll have to tell you. Don't tell, if you're under 21, plug your ears. I'm having a margarita. I'm living my best life. It's ice cold. Just love it. You gotta love an ice cold margarita in the middle of January, in the beginning of February. All right, you guys. I am going to do some final practicing for the day, and I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it really early. I'm gonna be in bed so early, you're not even gonna believe it. I'm gonna be in bed so early, oh my god. And then I'm gonna wake up so early, oh my god. But that's the name of the game. Okay. If you liked this podcast, and I hope you did, I mean, these past couple episodes have been rather short and rather haphazard. But that's just how it is right now. This is a documentation of each day. If you enjoyed this documentation of this here day, then I hope you will subscribe to the channel. I hope you will comment, leave a like on this video if you feel so inclined to leave a like. You don't have to. I don't really care. I love ya anyway. So don't feel pressured. I hate watching YouTube videos and having people be like, "Hey guys, don't forget to comment, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe." It's like, oh god. I get it. You're trying to hustle, but like also chill. Anyway, also, I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night whenever you happen to be listening to this podcast. This, of course, is the Paper Soprano podcast. And I'm gonna leave it there, you guys. I hope you have a great time with the rest of your day. I'm losing it. I gotta go. Okay, love you, mean it. Bye.